By the time it took you to click on this video, a man in Mumbai just made more money than what 99% of Indians will probably make in an entire year. To put that into perspective, this is what the income of an average Indian looks like. And this is India's top 1%. In these 15 minutes, I'll take you through every level of income in India. Not just by numbers, but the journey of survival, security, freedom, and power at every level. From 10,000 rupees a month to 10 crore rupees a day, and everything in between. At each level, we'll see how many people live in that income bracket and how much of India's total wealth they own. By the end, you'll never see your income the same way again. It's 11 AM in Champaran district, West Bihar. The sun is at full strength. It's summer, so the temperature can go up to 42 degrees. And in this boiling heat, a 75-year-old man in the middle of a field is having sugar as his breakfast. Why sugar? There is no logic to it. He just wants his stomach full. While most people are still struggling to get out of bed at 11, Deba is out here in the heat just to survive. At the age where most of us would be retired, he works in a rice field as a laborer, earning just 150 rupees per day. And his only goal in life is to make sure his family gets enough food for today. That's the only thing that's kept him going for the last 60 years. Growing up, Deba's childhood was not easy and definitely not normal. He saw his parents sleep through restless nights without food, and the struggle they went through to make sure there was enough food for everyone else. Being the eldest, he felt a sense of responsibility that he could be the one to help his family and future generations escape this trap. The next morning, Deba requested his father to take him to work so he could help his family financially. His father was not okay with it, but due to Deba's stubborn nature, his father couldn't stand firm and finally agreed to take him to the fields. And for the first time, Deba was out there working, finally helping out his family, with the dream that his siblings and future generations wouldn't go through this pain. But sadly, life didn't turn out how 15-year-old Deba imagined. 60 years later, his siblings and sons are daily wage laborers, and none of his grandchildren attend school. Later, he realized that the trap he wanted to escape was written for him, and there's no way out. Deba's story isn't unique. What we just saw represents millions of people across Bihar. Nearly 12% of Bihar live in extreme poverty. Most families work as laborers or daily wage workers in extreme poverty. That's approximately 1.4 crore people in Bihar alone. If we add the rest of the people living in similar conditions across other states, the numbers get crazy. 7.3 crore Indians living in poverty. That's nearly 5% of India's entire population, and they hold less than 0.4% of India's total wealth. But what if you earn twice Deva's salary? Life should be easier, right? But to survive in this society, especially in big cities, that's just the beginning. It's 3 AM in Delhi NCR. It's freezing cold. Everyone is sleeping in their cozy bedrooms, except for this one young man out there doing his late night walk. He's making sure everything is safe. Even though the cold bites at his face, he continues humming his favorite song. The fog is so thick he can barely see 10 feet ahead. But this is his everyday night. In fact, it's the best time. The world around him is silent, and he's lost in his 3 AM thoughts, dreaming about being one of the most successful pop stars in India, touring the entire world, playing in big arenas. But out of nowhere, a black Mercedes rushes to the gate and honks once. He rushes towards the office to open the gate, but the honking doesn't stop. One after another, aggressive, demanding. The driver loses patience. This is Amar Kumar, a 25-year-old from Orissa who just started his new job as a security guard just 2 months ago. He left his hometown at the age of 17 to find a stable job and support his family. He was young and hungry with a dream, and somehow he got the security job in Noida with a monthly salary of 18,000. That's 30 times lower than the annual average salary of the owners who live in this society. But Amar was very happy with that money, since he was able to send 10,000 back home and he was still able to survive in this big city. He lives in a shared room with 3 other people. For the bathroom, he uses the community bathroom made by the government, and he has all the basic necessities he always dreamed of having when he was a kid. 17-year-old Amar is really proud of where he's at right now, but there's just one problem. He soon realized he wasn't just getting paid to keep an eye on the society, but to be slaves to rich people who treat him and most of his co-workers in the most disrespectful way. All the sleepless nights, the struggle, the sacrifices, and still the society doesn't really care or respect them. And Amar was not okay with it. It was time for him to make the final call. He can either leave this job and follow his dreams, or he can keep doing this job for his family. And this will change Amar's life forever. While Amar makes the hardest choice of his life, there are approximately 65 crore people across India earning around 18,000 rupees per month. That's 2.18 lakh per year, and he represents 45% of Indians who hold only 5.5% of India's total wealth. They work through the night, they sacrifice their peace. They have just enough money to survive, but never enough to be seen, heard, or respected by the society they serve. The next story is about someone who not only makes sure one society sleeps peacefully, but the entire 146 crore Indians. This income level represents most of us, and this is the real face of India. This is Jatin and Mukesh, 2 brothers who always ended up fighting over who's gonna play games on the computer. And this is Divya, mother of Jatin and Mukesh. Her duty is to make sure the house runs smoothly. And finally, this is Manoj. Today is Diwali, and Manoj makes sure he spends every minute of his holiday with his family. The family gets really busy with household chores, cleaning the house, setting up the lights and flowers, and getting ready for puja. Seeing his family all together, Manoj gets a little emotional inside, but he doesn't let anyone know. And he just wishes his family stays strong and happy like this. Manoj is an assistant sub-inspector in the Border Security Force, or BSF. He's currently in Srinagar, and it's been a week since he met his family. Back at home, it feels silent. There's a sense of someone missing. A chair feels empty at the dinner table. Divya looks at their children and feels a sense of responsibility to take care of them. She's in her different world too. Her only goal in life is to give her kids all the resources she wasn't able to get when she was young. Once the boys are out for school, she mostly spends the time alone in the house, doing the household chores and thinking about how Mukesh wants to be a doctor. And Divya knows that with Manoj's income, they won't be able to afford any medical college. So she gives tuition to primary school kids for some extra cash to fulfill Mukesh's dream. She plays all these different roles: mother, father, teacher, and role model for the boys. Mukesh sees everything, all the hard work, the sacrifice his parents are making because of him, and that motivates him to be the best at his studies. But a terrifying question lingers in the back of his mind. What if he fails, doesn't get a good rank, and doesn't get into a government college? Together, they represent millions of Indian families. They are not poor, but not rich enough to feel secure, just managing. Every extra rupee isn't for luxuries, it's for the kids' dreams. Earning about 65,000 per month, which is 7.8 lakhs per year, that puts them in the middle class, which represents 40% of Indian population. They drive India's economy, consume 65% of household expenditure, and fuel GDP growth. and yet hold only 29% of India's total wealth. They may not have much money, but they have everything that truly matters. Now, from here, everything changes. It's the top 10% earners of India, and the amount of wealth they own will shock you. They don't just survive life, it's all about freedom, where experience is more than money. Meet Nishant. His day starts with yoga at 5 a.m. in the morning. He's very health conscious, and it's his number one priority. He always makes sure he wakes up on time, works out every day, and eats as healthy as he can. He lives in a rented flat in a gated society in Malad, Mumbai. He has all the basic necessities. He's a software engineer at Microsoft, living his life independently, and he's just 27. By the time he's done with breakfast, he gets ready for the office. At work, it doesn't really feel like work for him. He truly loves what he does and can spend hours doing it. After work, he gets enough time to work on his hobbies. He's a huge Red Hot Chili Peppers fan and wants to play guitar and form a band. So he makes sure to practice guitar for a few hours every day. Tomorrow is the weekend, so he's going to spend the entire day spending quality time with his friends and family. If he decides to quit his job today, he could still maintain this same lifestyle for the next 12 months. And at this stage, you really experience freedom. Freedom to do whatever you want, whenever you want to. Nishant earns 2 lakh per month, that's around 24 lakhs per year. That puts him in the top 10% of India. Just 14.5 crore people. This top 10% holds 25% of India's total wealth. To put that in perspective, Nishant earns 40 times more than Deba, 11 times more than Amar, and 3.3 times more than Manoj. This is the class that takes the most flights and has a big impact on consumption and growth. But despite this crazy lifestyle, a lifestyle which all the other classes might never be able to afford, Nishant still feels is not good enough. Because in this society, there are people his age who own their 3 crore flats, who drive Audis and BMWs, who have raised crores in funding and are building empires. He sees them in the elevator, at the gym, at the society clubhouse. Inspired by them, he really wants to start something of his own. A business that can generate more money than what he gets paid. He wants to take that risk and try something new, but he's too scared to risk his comfortable lifestyle. What if he loses whatever he has? What will happen to his dreams and plans? What if it doesn't work out? Now we don't know what step Nishant will take. He can do nothing and still have a very fulfilling life. But if he does decide to take the risk, it has the possibility of achieving his dream, owning a supercar, owning flats, building an empire. Because if he succeeds, he enters a completely different world. The top 1% of India, where 24 lakhs a year becomes 24 lakhs a month, where you don't just have money and freedom. Welcome to the life of the rich. If you earn more than 4.6 lakh per month, you're in the top 1% of India. That's just 1.46 crore people in a nation of 146 crore. At this level, you'll find business owners, celebrities, cricketers, politicians, and real estate magnates. Together, this top percentage holds 40% of India's total wealth. And at this stage, with money and freedom, you unlock something else. Power. Power to bend the system or even control it. The ordinary rules don't apply here. It can go to extreme ends. This is a lifestyle every Indian dreams of. Let me show you what wealth at this level actually means. If we compare Manoj, whose annual income is 7.2 lakh, with someone who makes 80 crore per year, for Manoj, buying an iPhone is like 2 months of salary. But for them, that's like buying a pair of shoes. For a Honda City car, that's 2 years of income for Manoj. But for them, it's only like having a nice dinner set. And a 2 BHK flat in Noida for Manoj, that's 10 years of savings. But for them, it's like a weekend trip. Each of these purchases feels major for Manoj. But for them, it's something they don't really even need to think about. They can go anywhere, buy anything, anytime. But then there's this one man even the ultra-rich look up to. India's richest man.
Mukesh Ambani.
Mukesh Ambani.
Mukesh Ambani.
with a net worth of 10 lakh crore, equivalent to $119 billion. He lives in Antillia, a 27-story private residence worth 15,000 crore, 3 helipads, 6 floors of parking, a staff of 600 people. He's one of India's 200 plus billionaires. He is so rich that if he sees 10 lakh lying on the road, it wouldn't be worth his time to pick it up. All these stories show us just how different life is at each level of our society. The massive inequality that exists in our nation. For some people, it's a daily struggle just to fill their stomachs. But for others, nothing is ever enough. So if there's anything I want you to take away from this video, is a reminder to be kind. Be grateful for what you have, because not everyone has the same starting line.